Hello and welcome. We are working on the second page of review from the practice packet in Algebra 2 for test number 6. This is actually page 9H. Should we scoot up a little more and show the directions? Oh, I can't. All right, well, as you can see, it says solve each equation by taking square roots. So we look at this first one. It's very straightforward. It's m squared equals 81. That happens to be a perfect square, so this is going to go pretty easily. My first step is to take square root, both sides. When we do that, we end up with these two square roots. So now square root of m squared is simply m. And then that's going to equal, and remember we took roots, so we're going to have a positive and a negative answer. Plus or minus, square root of 81 is 9. Could not be any easier. So m equal plus or minus 9. So if you want to be really specific, you can say m equals 9, m equals negative 9. Problem solved. All right. Number 11 is similar, but it has two steps involved. So when we look at this one, it's just that we have to eliminate that negative 4 first. That's negative 4 times p squared. So before we take roots, we've got to get that out of there. We are going to divide by negative 4. And we're left with, those cancel out, p squared equals negative 12. 48 divided by negative 4 is negative 12. This is where we take square roots. And we end up with square root of p squared is p equals plus or minus root negative 12. Now we have this negative under the root, which means we're going to have to pull out that separately. I'm going to write this a different way. P equals plus or minus root 1. I should say root negative 1. Root 12. And we actually have a couple of steps to go through here for. So now square root of negative 1 is I. But square root of 12 actually has a perfect square in it. So let's break that into root 4, root 3. And I'm going to say p equals plus or minus I, root 4, root 3. But of course, root 4 is actually 2. So we're going to bring that out. P equals plus or minus root 4 is 2, I, root 3. That's as far as we can go with this one. So hit pause if you're done. If you're not done. Otherwise, I'll see you on number 13. We're only doing the odds today. All right, number 13 is telling us to solve this equation with the quadratic formula, which you remember is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. If we look at this problem, our values end up being, this is red, I guess. A equals 4, B equals negative 3, C equals negative 4. Now we're going to plug these values right into this equation. X equals negative 3 plus or minus square root negative 3 squared minus 4 times So times 4 times negative 4. Change this thing over. And all of that's over 2 times a, or 2 times 4. So we're going to simplify inside. If you just run all this through your calculator, being sure to use the parentheses around the negative 3 so that we end up with a positive 9 there, you end up with this. Because negative 3 is positive 3. And all of that's over 8. And that's as far as we can go. All right, you can hit pause. Or actually, that's it. That's it for page 9. So we'll move on to page 10.